Hey, what's up everybody? Gonna do a classic rock reaction, man. This is a complimentary quad and it's featuring the music of Chicago. We're gonna start with Does Anyone Really Know What Time It Is? Followed by Beginnings, followed by Questions 67 and 68, and then finally I'm a Man. So I just want to give a shout out and a thanks very much to Finesse Muse. Thanks very much, man. I appreciate the recommendation. Finesse says, hey STB, here's my next Chicago quad request, this time featuring the 4 top hits from their first album when they were Chicago Transit Authority. This quad does not complete the entire double album, but now with my second CTA album quads, it covers the highlights for me. I hope you move on to other Terry Kath era albums and favorites in the future. Thanks. Yeah, I certainly will, man. Terry Kath is a fantastic artist. Definitely a candidate for Gone Too Soon feature. So let's hit this up, man. Does anybody really know what time it is? All right, Chicago. Does anybody really know what time it is? Let's get it. I've heard this song before, but never with the piano solo. Cool. Cheers.
As I was walking down the street one day, a man came up to me and asked me what the time was that was on my watch. Yeah, I said, does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care? If so, I can't imagine why. We've all got time enough to cry.
Love those harmonies.
I was walking
And the
down
brass too.
the street one day. A pretty lady looked at me and said her diamond watch had stopped cold dead. And I said, does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care? If so, I can't imagine So I just don't know. I don't know. And I said, yes, I said, does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care? If so, I can't imagine why. All got time enough to die. Everybody's worried. I don't care about time. I don't care.
Fantastic. Great tune, man. I know my pops really likes Chicago, so I'm gonna have to show him this this quad. Yeah, man. Hey, these guys, man. The vocals, the brass, the great musicianship, the harmonies, all of that sort of thing. They just got it going on in spades, let me tell you. Great Chicago. Formerly the Transit Authority. I heard their asses almost got sued. So, let's do a breakdown of each one of these songs, man. Finesse was saying that there's a decent write-up on all of them, seeing that they were hits. So, it isn't just album information, which I like sometimes because it's specific information about the exact song, how it was conceived, you know, specific details. Every single song has a unique story. It's just a question of if it was recorded and conveyed. So, does anybody really know what time it is? It's a song by rock band Chicago. It was included on their '69 debut album, CTA, and released as a single in 1970. The song was written and sung by Robert Lamb. Background. According to Robert Lamb, Does Anybody Really Know What Time It Is was the first song recorded for their debut album. The song was not released as a single until 2 tracks from the band's second album, Make Me Smile and 24 or 6 to 4, had become hits. It became the band's 3rd straight top 10 single, peaking at number 7 in the US and number 2 in Canada. Because the song straddled years in its chart run, it's not ranked on the major US year-end charts. However, in Canada, where it charted higher, it's ranked as both the 59th biggest hit of 1970 and the 37th biggest hit of 71. Okay, that's a good way to track it. Lamb said of the song, quote, "It's not a complicated song, but it's certainly a quirky song. But that was my intent. I wanted to write something that wasn't ordinary, that wasn't blues-based, that didn't have ice cream changes, and would allow the horns to shine and give Lee Lonin a solo. So all that was the intent," unquote. Cashbox said of the song that Chicago's exciting arrangements and superb material add up to a oral outburst that should blossom as a flowering chart entry, unquote. Man, critics and their great vocab, right? I think a prereq to be a critic is that you had to have been a poet before, man, or some sort of great creative writer. All right, let's hit up our next track, man, and that being Beginnings. You might hear a little bit of background thunder, and I live in a condo complex, like 5 condos all in a huge complex, and there's always somebody changing out the bins and all that, and it sounds like thunder. And sadly, my editing program can't remove all of that. All right, so I'm sure it made your life much richer and sweeter knowing that information. So, Beginnings, Chicago. Let's get it. I know this song just by the beginning.
I'm with you. It doesn't matter where we are or what we're doing. I'm with you, that's all that matters. Time passes much too quickly when we're together laughing. I wish I could sing it to you. Oh no, I wish I could sing it to you. Oh, 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 oh. Mostly I'm silent. Silent. La, 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 la. Never think of the right words to say when I kiss you. I feel 1,000 different feelings, color of chills all over my body. And when I feel them, I quickly try to decide which one I should try to put into words. Oh no, try to put into words. Oh, 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 oh. Mostly I'm silent. Silent. La 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 la. Silent. Only the beginning, what I want to feel forever.
Listen to that bass groove, man. And the drums kick in. Then the brass.
Yes, only the beginning of what I want to feel forever. Only the beginning. Only just a start. Yeah, I got to get you into my life, mama. Got to get you next to me. Yeah, only the beginning. Only just a start.
hear the bass groove in the back? Man. Peter Cetera is going off on that. Okay, I thought the song was going to kind of start up again. All right. Beginnings. Is this your favorite Chicago song? For some of you, I bet it is. Yeah, man. Great tune. I don't know, for some reason, you say Chicago to me, I don't think of this song. I forgot all about it. But yeah, I remember this song. I remember liking it very much. So it's called Beginnings. I imagine that it probably didn't get airplayed as often as the others because of its length. I'm just guessing. But yeah, man, this is a great tune. So Beginnings. Beginnings is a song written by Robert Lamb for the rock band Chicago and recorded for its debut album CTA, released in '69. The song is the band's second single after Questions 67 and 68, but failed to chart on its initial release. After the band's success with subsequent singles, Beginnings was re-released in June of '71, back with Color My World. Both sides became US radio hits, and the combined single climbed to a number 7 on the US Billboard Hot 100 singles chart. Beginnings reached number 1 on the US Easy Listening chart. Writing for Ultimate Classic Rock, Dave Swanson rates Beginnings as number 2 in his list of top 10 Chicago songs. Wow. It's been covered by many bands, including the tribute band Leonid and Friends. Okay, a tribute Chicago band. I wonder if they've got the really cool brass in it. Gotta check them out. Composition. Robert Lamb said Beginnings was inspired by a performance by Richie Havens that he attended at the Ash Grove Music Club in LA when the group moved to that area. In a 23 interview, he said he composed it on a 12-string guitar that was missing the 2 low E strings. There you go. Interesting beginnings. Alright, man. Let's hit up the song that we keep hearing about. Questions 67 and 68. Questions 67 and 68. Let's get it. Listen to that brass, man. I was just trying to think in my mind, were all those questions, he's up to question number 67 or 68, or more than likely is it just the year of those questions? I think it's just the years. That's a lot of questions, man, if it was the first scenario. All right. Yeah, questions 67 and 68. Led by Peter Cetera. Excellent tune, man. This guy's got a very, very unique vocal signature, doesn't he? Peter Cetera. Question 67 and 68 is a 1969 song written by Robert Lamb for the rock band Chicago and recorded for their debut album. It was their first single release. Lead vocals are shared by Lamb and Peter Cetera. Lyrics and music. The questions in questions 67 and 68 relate to the nature of a romantic relationship Lamb had during 67 and 68. In 2008, Lamb said, "It's about a girl I knew during those years with a hint of acid imagery and very Beatles influence." The lyrics include the title phrase only as the last words. With respect to the horn arrangements, James Pankow said in a 2000 Goldmine article, "In the old days, however, I used to write horns very harmonically. Question 67 and 68 is probably a very good example of how I used to approach horns. I had no rests. We played from the first bar of the song, which is not very musical anymore. We got away with that then, I guess. Garcia, Chicago's producer then, used to triple quite often. He'd have 3 sections, and the one in the middle was me playing pedals. That's why it sounded like Count Basie. It sounded like a big band. Billboard described the single as a soulful, driving rhythm ballad with big band in strong support, and as a potent chart item. Yeah, absolutely. Really, really excellent. Yeah, and you know, you're listening to it, you don't really embrace it as a ballad of such. It's certainly not a sappy ass love song, you know. So yeah, man, with the brass and the extended instrumentals, it's definitely a choice song. I can see why it's one of their best. All right, speaking of one of their best, let's hit up their final one on this quad, man. I'm a Man. Shout out to the great Steve Winwood. All right, Chicago, I'm a Man. Let's get it. I love that organ, the way it creeps in. This song is so funky. Such a voice, man.
Keep my image while I'm standing on the floor. If I drop upon my knees, it's to keep on my nose. You think that I'm not human, and my heart is big as stone, but I never had no problem, and my body's pretty strong.
Excellent. Man, it's a funky ass song. Fantastic. Masterful. I wonder what Steve Winwood thinks about Chicago covering his song. I'm sure he's very, very proud and very flattered. Yeah, man. These guys are so talented. What a really fantastic formation. I gotta go back into the history of Chicago and how the seed was first planted and spawned. How exactly they started. Whose idea was it? You know, was it two friends starting up? I can't remember exactly how, but I definitely want to go back in time and do that. If I do it now, it would be a little bit too much reading, so let's just focus on I'm a Man. So, I'm a Man is a song written by the Spencer Davis Group, written by singer Steve Winwood and record producer Jimmy Miller. Chicago's version. Chicago, then known as Chicago Transit Authority, recorded a cover version of I'm a Man for their '69 debut album, Chicago Transit Authority. When the band's popularity surged after their second album, I'm a Man was released as the B-side to a re-release of Questions 67 and 68. Radio stations ended up playing both sides, and I'm a Man reached number 49 on the US Billboard Hot 100 in '71 and got as high as the top 10 in the UK. The song reached number 13 in Ireland. Chicago's cover arrangement features an extended percussion and drum sections with a total runtime of 7 minutes and 40 seconds. and is based around the distortion, heavy blues, rock guitar virtuoso Terry Kath and the drumming of Danny Serafin, also the bass of Peter Cetera and the soaring Hammond organ of Robert Lamb. The horn players periodically switching over to auxiliary percussion instruments such as claves, cowbells, maracas, and tambourine. Man, what a crazy, crazy ensemble. Kath, Cetera, and Lamb each sing a verse apiece, precluding Serafin's extended drum solo before a return to the second and third verses with the horn sections and choruses that bring the song to a climactic drum roll and finally leading into a guitar solo to bring the song to a dramatic close. This version is featured on the 1971 4-record live album Chicago at Carnegie Hall and Chicago Live in Japan, and has remained a fan favorite and concert staple throughout Chicago's career. Santana has also used a small part of this song in the track Waiting, which appears on their self-titled 1969 debut album. Man, fantastic. Yeah, these guys, and you know what? I think that at the time, back in the day, they were a really, really nice addition to the landscape of classic rock, you know, featuring the horn section, you know, featuring 3 lead singers, you know, and just so much to offer, all of the different instruments that they could play. It's a little bit removed from, you know, just your 4-man lineup, you know, of just a drum set, a bass, and a guitar and a singer, right? You know, so it was really, really different, I imagine, back then. If you are an old cat and you remember those times and then you first saw Chicago come into the scene, what were your thoughts? Comparing it to, you know, your traditional, let's say, lineup of a Who, Led Zeppelin with just, you know, 4 people. Let me know about that. It must have been a little bit of a different feel for you. You know, were you intrigued by it? You had to have been intrigued by it. Were you turned off because there was brass in it? But then after you heard the way that they could jam and everything, I'm sure it totally changed your mind. Let me know about that. Go back in time. Take us back in time. Yeah, I'm sure you can hear all of the damn thunder going on in the back. Sorry about that. All right. What was I going to say? Getting distracted. Yeah, so that concludes our look, man, at Chicago. We'll, as Finesse said, we'll definitely go back in time and check out some of their earlier stuff, the Terry Kath years, as I call it, and yeah, and continue. The Terry Kath years to Chicago are what the Peter Green years to Fleetwood Mac means to me, you know. And I'm not saying that I'm going to totally discount the Chicago 80s stuff, you know, but it's 2 different time periods and 2 different sounds. It's more led by Peter Cetera, and they're getting into their romantic love song, a little bit on the corny ass stuff, you know, going into the popcorn age of the 80s. And of course, you know, you had to adapt and move along with the times. But where it comes to Chicago, the Terry Kath years, it's it for me, man, you know. So, Yogi, Don, Izzlerat, it's fine. I got reactions I got to hit up for you guys. This is New Year's Eve. Happy New Year. And starting in the new year with this platform, I'm going to be hitting up John Paul Jones, man. January 22 is John Paul Jones month, and I am really stoked about it. I haven't been stoked about an artist of the month since 2019's December of 2019, man, when the Allman Brothers were artist of the month. So I'm really looking forward to taking a deep dive into getting to know the music and the man, John Paul Jones. So it's going to be really, really cool. So patrons, subscribers, send me what you got. You know, even if it's a full concert with timestamps or whatever, that'd be really, really cool. Now, I'm not saying that I have time to sit here and do a full concert, you know, because my time is really going to start crunching down where it comes to how much I can do for my reactions. But send me timestamps and I'll focus on the timestamps, whatever it is, man. And I'll make sure that I go through it all and that I'm not repeating the same old things and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely we're going to have a lot of John Paul Jones stuff to go through, whether it being interviews, collaborations, different songs from his solo days, from his Zeppelin days, whatever the case is, send it all to me, man. And I'll go through it all with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that I don't repeat the same stuff and get all of the stuff out for sure. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing. So it's going to be very, very heavy with John Paul Jones content this month. If you don't like John Paul Jones, I would advise you to completely not even visit this channel for the next month, right? Because it's going to be heavy. Almost every single day or every other day, you're going to have something with John Paul Jones content. Just letting you know that, right? So, man, I am going to bounce. Finesse, thank you again. Great way to usher out the new year, getting into the new, usher out this year, get into the new year. So I'm looking forward to the new year and what we can do on this platform. Anyways, have a good one. Happy New Year. Be safe. Take care. And what else was I going to say? There was just something else. I can't remember. These damn guys are just distracting me with all of that boom. I'm going to jet. Have a good one. Peace.